Hello and welcome to the Wicked Things podcast. The story you are about to listen to is called Stadler House Book 1 Anna. After a near-death experience changes a young orphan child's life forever, the benevolent Dr. Stadler uses his bleeding-edge therapy to help her and other children at his group home return to a life of normalcy. This short story brings to life the challenges faced by trying to help one small group of children survive their common pasts. Rodney nearly froze to death but watched as his sister was taken. Julie, almost successful in her final attempt to end her life but was plucked from the moment of death. Tyler, a teen substance abuser, was saved by emergency room doctors after overdosing. Anna, a young orphan who narrowly survived her brush with death due to a house fire. John, felt the jaws of his uncle's feral dogs around his throat but was saved from death by paramedics. Emily, the only child who has never had a brush with death. What do all of the residents of the Stadler group home truly have in common? The answer will shock and terrify you.
The falling rain created a rhythmic drumming on the window of the massive two-car garage. The stench of the air inside held a hint of teenage sweat and marijuana smoke in the makeshift game room. "You know that is bad for you, right?" John quickly follows the question with a grunt as he presses the weighted barbell into the air. John's face turns pink and then shades of red. His arms shake at the top of the press. Sweat beads race across his forehead. "Oh my God, no!" Tyler smiles, watching John struggle to lift the weight. He takes a long drag from his joint as he raises his hands in false surprise. He looks to the window as the drumming of the rain intensifies. The weight bench creaks and groans as John lowers the barbell into the weight bar holder. John grabs a pair of dumbbells and straddles the weight bench. He lowers the weights and motions towards the house. "What happened in there?" John presses Tyler for an answer. Tyler shakes his head and exhales smoke into the air. He searches for words as he stares at the floor. "I thought I was over everything, but when she spoke..." Tyler looks up, taking a long drag on the joint before continuing. "I was there, man. All over again." He rubs his throat instinctively as memories flood into his mind. John's face hangs heavy with confusion with Tyler's revelation. "When they stuck the tube in your throat to pump your stomach?" John returns the dumbbells and grabs a towel. "How did she know?" he asks, wipes his face, placing a towel around his neck. Tyler takes a long drag from the joint. "Felt like tied down to the table all over again." He turns to face John and offers him a hit from the joint. John immediately takes a long puff from the joint. Maggie's voice echoes from the other side of the garage door leading to the inside of the house. "Bedtime, boys!" John and Tyler jump as lightning strikes nearby outside of the game room, followed by the boom of rolling thunder. They chuckle until they turn to face the door and see Maggie stands in the doorway, arms folded with a scowl on her face. "Shit!" Tyler blurts out as they each hold a look of guilt. Tyler speaks first, trying to hide his building smile. "Sorry, I guess we didn't see you there." Tyler and John fan at the smoke, knowing she had caught them. John holds back the building drug-fueled giggles and offers a fake smile. "Yeah, maybe wear a bell or something." John can no longer hold back his guilty laughter. John's laugh is infectious and Tyler joins him. Maggie glares at the boys with folded arms. "All right, guys, time to come in and get ready for bed." She shakes her head, fully aware the boys have used the area for smoking weed. She exhales, knowing she will have to cover for them yet again by using some air fresheners and air conditioning filters. Again. John lowers his head and leaves the room, laughing. His face turns bright red as he fights and does not stop his laughing. John struggles to turn from Maggie and slip into the hallway. "Sorry, Maggie." Tyler stops at the doorway. His demeanor turns serious as he looks at Maggie. "I saw the look on your face." Maggie looks at Tyler as her brow furrows at his words. "Tyler, the others listen to you. You need to stop the gossip now." Tyler studies her expression. "I know you saw something." Maggie turns to leave, upset. "Make sure you're in bed by midnight." Tyler nods in understanding. "Thanks." Maggie leaves the room. "Midnight." Tyler closes the door and gestures at the billiard table. Tyler gets spooked as thunder booms nearby and a flash of lightning illuminates the darkest parts of the game room. Tyler pulls a small baggie of green from his pants and tries to roll another joint. He closes his eyes and steadies his shaking hands. "Get it together." The rain intensifies outside, causing the garage doors to rattle violently. The noise would be unbearable without the added insulation to help drown out the noise from both outside and the game room. The brilliant flash of another bolt of lightning reveals a small figure near the door to the house. Anna glares at Tyler with a look of pure malice held firm in her expression. A demonic smirk twists at the corner of her mouth. She seems to glide silently across the room until she arrives opposite Tyler at the pool table. Tyler stands next to the old billiards table, racking the balls as the joint dangles from the edge of his lip. He straightens his posture and takes a long drag from the joint. Tyler gasps at the unexpected sight of his young tormentor, standing at arm's length from him at the billiard table. "What are you doing in here?" he asks Anna directly. Crack! He hits the billiard cue ball dead on, causing it to race across the table, impacting hard against the racked balls. "You still mad, bro?" Anna's smile widens to a ghoulish grin in her long red nightshirt. Her long, wet hair obscures her face, save for a single hazel glaring eye showing. She giggles, looking around the game room. Tyler exhales and places a hand on his chest above his heart. Tyler watches Anna, puzzled by the fact he never watched her enter the room. He turns his attention briefly to her feet, confused as everyone makes a noise crossing the poorly installed wooden floors of the game room. "You nearly gave me a heart attack." "Wouldn't be your first, would it?" Anna tosses her hair back over her left shoulder with a small playful nod of her head. She giggles as she examines Tyler. Anna thumbs the protective cap off the medical syringe held stealthily, fully out of sight behind her back. "You little bitch!" Tyler drops his pull stick and lunges for the young girl. Tyler stops, feet from her as terror fills his face. Tyler presses for an answer from his tormentor. Long white streaks race through Anna's hair. Her skin grows pale and the flesh tightens into an undead pallor claiming her image. "Would you prefer for us to come back later?" She gestures to the wall near the doorway and growls the words. "Oh wait, that's why we're here now." Tyler's attention goes to the walls as two human-looking shadows race around the room along the surface of the walls. Tyler gestures to the dark figures on the walls. His eyes follow the shadows as they stop above Anna on the ceiling, resembling two oily patches. "What the hell?" The shadow figures drop from the walls, landing behind Anna with an audible thump. Anna's eyes become two black, soulless voids. The color of Anna's dress bleeds away, revealing a burial shroud. "It's a game room, so we're here to play." Tyler steps away, bumping into the pool table with trembling hands. He pushes away from the billiard table and runs to the wall opposite Anna. "What are you?" he begs the demonic child. "Don't change the subject," Anna says, wagging her finger. The radio signal goes to static as she passes by. She turns to Tyler. The shadow figures blur across the room, placing themselves between Tyler and the exit. Tyler glances around the room, seeking an exit. "Dr. Stadler, Maggie, anybody, please help me!" He sees the window and rushes towards it. A shadowy figure runs on all four limbs like a large dog, stopping in front of the window and utters a demonic growl. Anna stalks Tyler across the room. She tilts her head from side to side, her neck pops and cracks loudly. She pauses and offers a demonic smile. "You cheated death before, but we're here not to collect the debt owed." Tyler turns in time to see the other shadow come from behind him, growling. He backs away from the growling shadows. "What are you talking about?" Tyler sidesteps the shadow creature and runs for the door. Anna motions for the shadows to get him before he can reach the door. Anna follows behind the shadows as they race towards Tyler. "You can run, but you'll just die tired," Anna chuckles. Tyler clenches his fist and takes a fighting posture. The two shadow creatures barrel into Tyler, sending all three into the wall behind him, feet from the door. Tyler struggles with all his might against the shadow creatures. Anna studies Tyler in amusement. "No one gets away twice." Anna struts in front of him and reveals the medical syringe. She licks the needle with closed eyes and shudders in anticipation. Tyler, in a very unheroic moment of surrender, releases the contents of his bladder as he pleads, "Help me!" Tyler and Anna look down at the slowly growing pool of warm yellow. Their eyes meet as Tyler weeps. Anna extends her arm, silencing him with a single finger pressed against his lips. Hush. Using the medical syringe, Anna withdraws thick black fluid from beneath her tongue. Tyler's eyes fill with terror, but unable to summon further words. She pulls out the syringe, sending a spray of the oily black bile onto Tyler. Before Tyler can force his body to evade it, Anna drives the syringe deep into Tyler's chest. Tyler gasps and looks at his chest and sees the syringe. He watches as the syringe empties its contents into him. His body tries to fight the fluid, resulting in violent seizures throughout his body. Tyler gasps in a raspy voice, "Someone, please, help!" His eyes become glassy as his legs lose strength and he collapses onto the floor. Anna's image slowly reverts to the small, unassuming child. "Okay, love ya, bye." Anna smiles as she skips away from Tyler towards the door. Rather than open the door, she flows through it. The shadow creatures vanish as a bolt of lightning strikes nearby, rattling the garage doors as the pressure wave of the thunder reaches the doors.
This has been the Wicked Things podcast presentation of Stadler House Book 1 Anna. Thank you for listening. And come back real soon.